Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 10. It's titled Mighty Mighty Boston Bonds. What is that? I don't know what that is. I think it should be titled Question and Answers because that's what it was all about. Them asking a bunch of questions and getting a bunch of answers. So let's get started. First up is Mark and Lindsay. We see Lindsay in the apartment. She is video chatting with a friend. She tells the friend that her and Mark are not making the beast with the two backs. And they haven't been doing it for 2 weeks. She said when they did, it was a quickie. She said she enjoyed it more when she was single and dating. Lindsay just needs to tell him what to do. It's clear he doesn't know what to do in bed to please a woman. So she just needs to tell him what she likes. That's all. Okay, the next scene is Viviana sends the couples questions to ask each other. Now, let me tell you about Miss Viviana. I don't like her. Okay? I don't think she gives good advice. I don't think she dressed appropriately. She's walking around with this, it's either a red or orange dress with red lipstick. She needs to wipe that lipstick off. And she's wearing these dangling earrings. She needs to take those earrings off. She got her hair out. She needs to scrape her hair back in a bun and put on some spectacles and put on a pantsuit or a dress with a blazer or something. She needs to look professional. This is her job. She's doing her job in a professional environment. She's dressed like she's going out with her husband or hanging out with her friends for drinks or something. I don't like the way she's dressed. She needs to dress respectfully. The other one, she dresses respectfully. She's always wearing a blazer, and the fake pastor, he's always wearing a suit. So why is she dressed all flamboyant? I don't like the way she dressed, and I don't like the advice she gives out. So I'm not a fan of hers at all. But she gives them questions to ask each other. Mark and Lindsay are sitting. They're sitting on a beach, and they ask each other questions. And I think they chop the episodes up, like they have, because they're asking questions, but she hasn't visited them yet. I think she visited them first and gave them the questions to ask. I think that's what happened. But we see them sitting on a beach, and Mark asks Lindsay what is her favorite position and why. Lindsay says being on top because you have more fun. Those weren't her words. Those are my words. And I agree with her 100%. You have more fun when you're on top. Anywho, the next scene, Viviana comes for a visit. So I think that happened first. I think she visited them first and then gave them the questions to ask. That's what I think happened. But anyway, Lindsay tells Viviana that their sex life is dead. She said it's up and down. She said the first time wasn't bad, but it wasn't satisfying either. She said he can't handle her. And then Viviana told Lindsay not to be rude. That's not being rude. What is she talking about, not be rude? I would have said, you want to see rude? Get out. Get out and don't come back, is what I would have told her. Talking about don't be rude. How is that being rude? You asked her a question and she answered it. She'd have to leave. She'd have to leave my house. Anyway. She gave them some dumb advice. She told them to trust each other and not hurt each other. What kind of advice is that? She got a degree for this? That's why I don't call her no Dr. Viviana. I just call her Viviana. I want to see her degree. I want to see her certificate. I want to see something. Prove it to me that you deserve to be called doctor. Okay? Anyway, next scene. Lindsay's at the apartment and she sets up a Nerf gun fight. The person who gets shot first have to rub the other person's feet. And I love a foot rub. I love a foot rub. Anyway, so they had the Nerf shootout, her and Mark. And of course, Mark lost. And I like Lindsay, so I'm not going to say Lindsay lost. Mark lost. So the expert sent them a goodie basket of things to help them with their relationship. So Lindsay puts a gag ball on Mark, and he said he couldn't breathe. The ball goes in your mouth and the strap goes around your face. He says he can't breathe. I thought we breathe through our nose. The man said he couldn't breathe. Okay. Uh, Mark always think Lindsay's trying to kill him though. When they were doing the Nerf ball shooting, he thought she was trying to kill him. She's putting the gag ball on him. He thinks she's trying to kill him because he's talking about, oh, I can't breathe. Mark is he's such a wimp. Okay, so they have questions to read and tasks to complete, and they both are gagged up, so they can't talk. They just have to do what the cards tell them to do. And it looks like a lot of fun. Mark had to put on a candy G-string, and they complete a few other tasks. And Lindsay looked like she had a ball, but Mark complained the entire time. That was Mark and Lindsay for now. We'll come back to them later. Next up is Katina and Elijah Wan. They're at the apartment. Viviana comes over. She claims she knows everything that's been going on. She asks them, why are they always talking about food and cooking? They're not always talking about food and cooking. They're talking about cooking and cleaning. He wants her to cook and clean. He wants a maid, not a wife. Elijah Wan told her that is what he needs in a wife. And she asked him, this is Viviana, she asked him if he did not eat before he was married. He said he has a wife that works from home, so she needs to cook his food. Just because somebody telework don't mean they're just sitting at home watching TV, chilling, sleeping. When you work from home, you work. You work from 1 hour, you work from a certain hours to a certain hours, just like you would if you were in the office. If you're working from home, you're working. True, you don't have to commute, and that takes up time, commute back and forth, which does take up time, but you're still working from a certain hour to a certain hour. So what the hell is he talking about? She works from home so she can cook. If that's the case, then you can come home and you can cook too. I mean, I can't with him. He tells Viviana about Katina not cleaning the floor after the housewarming party. He's still on that bullcrap. He'll never forget that. And he said she's not mentally on his level. And the whole time, Katina is just sitting there, hunched over, lips sealed, like they're talking about somebody else. Like they're not even talking about her, they're talking about somebody else. Then when she finally speaks, she said, he's going to leave me if I do something wrong. I'm sorry, I know everybody loves Katina, but I can't stand Katina. I can't stand her wig. I can't stand the way she dresses. I can't stand the way she comes at Lindsay like a tigress. But then when it comes to Elijah Wan, she cowers and allows him to kick the shit out of her. And I hear that they're still together, so why are we worried about her? She's just fine. Because what she needs to do is cuss him out really, really good from head to toe, turn around and walk the hell away. That's what she needs to do. But she's still with him, so who cares? So he goes on to call her lazy. She's not mentally on his level, and now she's lazy. And doctor, don't call her doctor. Viviana is just sitting there allowing this behavior. And then Katina cries, which is what she does when he insults her and treats her like crap. She just cries. Then she says it feels like someone is beating up on her. Yes, Katina, someone is beating up on you. Elijah Wan is beating up on you with his words. She said she feels like she is not good enough. That's what he wants. That's how he wants you to feel. He wants you to feel like you're here and he's here. He wants you to feel like shit. That's why he's treating you like shit. When is she gonna get it? So I guess what's her face? Viviana had asked Katina, what do you need for him to do? Because she said, I need him to watch his tone. I need him to watch his words, his tone. I need him to go take a flying leap off of a bridge. I need him to do something other than talk down to me. But Elijah does not want Katina to take the show. He doesn't want everybody to have sympathy for him, for her. He wants a part of the scene. She's stealing all the scenes, and he can't have that. So he decides he's going to fake cry. He tries to tear up and tries to cry. And then he tells her that he tries to talk to her, but he gets no response from her. And she needs to open up. And then she told him that she'd open up. And that's the end of that. The next scene is Viviana gave them questions to ask each other. Viviana is gone now, and they have questions to ask each other. And Katina asked Elijah if he could change one thing about her physically, what would it be? And he's trying to clean up his act because I guess they pulled him aside and said, hey, you better watch the way you talk to her, da-da-da, da-da-dee, da-da-da, because all of a sudden now he's changed. So she asked him what about her would he change physically? And he said he wouldn't change anything physically. And we know he would. He would change her to be a white woman because he doesn't date black women. He would change her. Those were his words, that he doesn't date black women. Okay? Next scene, Katina goes to the grocery store and gets candy instead of food. She says she's trying to woo him. But I thought he wanted a hot meal. He didn't want candy. But she bought candy. And, of course, he's trying to pretend like he's happy. He tells her constantly, time again, how happy he is that she bought him candy and popcorn. And they're having movie night. And he's trying to pretend like he's happy. But he's not. He's fake. He didn't want candy and popcorn and movie night. He wants a clean house and a hot meal. Next, we have Steve and Noi. Viviana she gives them questions to ask. I think she visited them first before they got the questions, but in this scene, they're answering questions. Steve asks Noi what would she think if she caught him watching porn. She said it would turn her on. Next scene, Viviana comes over. Steve told Viviana that they have a great physical connection, but Steve is a bitch. Steve brings up Noi leaving and ghosting him. He brings that crap up. I thought that was over with, but he brings it up. He's still not over it. So Noi basically said that she left because she didn't want to cuss him out. Because he was getting on her damn nerves. The next time he gets on your nerve, Noi, cuss him out and don't leave and see what happens. Just cuss him out. Because she said she left because she was afraid she would say something she wouldn't mean or she would have to take back. Next time, don't leave. Just go ahead and cuss him out. Sometimes people need a good cussing out. Sometimes that's what they need. So she starts crying, telling him she's sorry she hurt his feelings. And instead of saying it's okay and giving her a hug and a kiss, he gets on his high horse and said she needs to change that behavior because if she don't change that behavior, their marriage is not going to last. That's what he tells her. But what did he do to piss her off? He did something so annoying to piss her off that she'd pack a bag, grab her dog, and leave, and didn't communicate with him and didn't come back to the next morning. And I think she even said he upset her, and this been going on. It's not the first time. It's like a continuation. So he was annoying the crap out of her, and she's just had it with the damn noodles, with the soggy noodles. So that's why she left. Did he apologize for annoying her? See, for every action there's a reaction. You piss her off, she leave and she ghosts you. So when do you apologize for pissing her off? When do you apologize for that behavior? When? When do she get to say, the next time you piss me off like that, you need to change your behavior or this marriage is not going to last? When do she get to say that? He's an ass. He's an ass. So Noe brings up him not working. And Steve told her that if he gets a job, he won't be able to cook and clean. Every week, his reason for not getting a job changes. Now he's saying he can't get a job because she's not going to cook and clean. Because he's been doing it and she's not going to do it. He says it hasn't been happening. Of course it hasn't been happening. She's been working. And you're here not doing anything, so you clean and cook. What doesn't he understand about that? He said, I haven't seen her cooking and cleaning, so I don't know if she's going to cook and clean once I go to work. She's not cooking and cleaning because she's working and you're not. You're sitting here scratching your ass, so you need to do something. So every week, there's a different reason why he's not working. This week is because if he works, he doesn't know if she's going to take care of the house. No, if she's working and you're working, you both take care of the house. Boom. What are you talking about? I think him and Elijah One should get together. He claims he's good at cooking and cleaning, and that's what Elijah One needs. Someone who's good at cooking and cleaning. But Steve is full of crap. And she said it too. She says, you're using that as an excuse. That's what she tells him. And then this dumb Viviana, she asks Noe, if Steve had enough savings, she asks, would you be okay with him being a stay-at-home dad? Dumb ass Viviana. She got a degree? I gotta see this degree. Then I'll start calling her doctor. Viviana, savings run out. Savings are not just going to stay there forever. They run out. I made this analogy before. There's a bucket here with water, and then there's a little hole in the bucket. And the water is seeping out through that hole, and the water level is dropping. That's his savings right there. Maybe he has money in the bank. But guess what? That money is going to dwindle out. And then when it dwindles out, that's when he's going to go run and get a job? Okay. Viviana is dumb. What if he has savings? He's got this savings that's going to always be there? She's dumb. She is a doctor. She got a degree. Anyway, Noe said no. She said no. She don't want no stay-at-home dad. He needs to go get a job. Go get a job, Steve. You're a lazy ass. And you're full of crap. He wants her to work a full-time job and cook him noodles. What was he doing while she was cooking these noodles? Sleeping? After she just got through working 8 hours? Him and Elijah One, they need to they're in their own little world and they need to go somewhere off and start a society. Start their own little society. Because they're not in this world. I don't know which world they're in, but it's not this world. Next is Jasmina and Michael. Viviana gives them questions to ask each other. And I really couldn't hear the question clearly, but I think Michael asked Jasmina what can he do to make the marriage better. Jasmina is a broken record. She said, talk to me. That's what she said last episode. Episode before that. Talk to me. He said she should listen and understand him. Jasmina asked if there's anything he is embarrassed to tell her. She told her embarrassing story, and I wasn't interested in it. And Michael said he was called P-boy when he was a child, apparently. When he was a kid, the teacher wouldn't let him go to the bathroom, so he peed in her classroom, and they called him P-boy. The next question, Mike asks Jasmina what is her favorite physical feature of him, and she said his arms. He does have good arms. He said her favorite feature was her smile. And that's true because she only has two looks. She has a smile and she has a frown. If she's not smiling, she's frowning. And majority of the time, she's frowning. So he said he liked her smile. Next scene, Viviana comes for a visit. And she's wearing the same dress. So I guess she's just going from apartment to apartment. Michael tells Viviana that he and Jasmina are not physically intimate at all. He said he wants her to take the lead. Jasmina told both Viviana and Michael that she needs to have an emotional connection before it gets to be physical. Jasmina said it feels like they are just coexisting and they are not communicating. And Michael is sitting there getting angry. The look on his face, boy, he's getting angry. And he's sitting there just shaking his head like, shaking his head. And then they're talking to him. Jasmina refused to allow Mike to talk. Every time he tries to say something, she jumps in. And Viviana won't say anything because she's terrified of Jasmina. She's terrified of Jasmina. And Michael looks like he wants to cry, scream, yell, and punch somebody all at the same time. He looks so frustrated. Jasmina tells them that she is the only one trying in the marriage. Jasmina's something else. Michael basically said he doesn't know how to communicate with Jasmina without her saying he has a tone. And I can feel his pain because that's exactly what she does. So crazy Viviana tells him to write down what he wants to say. So now whenever he needs to communicate with her, he has to write it down. What kind of advice is that? I think that's dumb. Jasmina's not going to like that anyway. She's going to have a problem with that too because she's going to say, oh, he put a question mark? What the hell does that mean? Why is he asking me a question? And he's going to put an exclamation point mark and she's going to be like, an exclamation mark? Why? What's going on? Is he angry? What's going on? Then he's going to write something in bold. She's going to say, hey, what's going on here? Why is he screaming at me? Then he's going to have run-on sentences without commas. She's going to be like, is he dumb? This don't make sense. Where are the commas? Where are the periods? She's not going to like that. And she's a teacher too. She ain't going to like that. I think Viviana gives bad advice. So Michael told Jasmina that he wants a little bit more affection. And Jasmina basically tells him that he is not getting any affection from her until he learns how to communicate with her. The next scene, Viviana is gone. So it's just Michael and Jasmina. And they're talking about Viviana's visit. And Michael thinks it's a good idea to write instead of talking because he says they cut each other off when they talk. And immediately Jasmina starts disagreeing with him. She said they only cut each other off twice. And he said, okay, yes. It's more than once. So, yeah, we do cut each other off. But I think it happened more than twice. I think it happened several times on Jasmina's part. But Jasmina said she's not writing down anything. She ain't doing that. She says she ain't writing down anything because she does not have a problem with communicating. And they start disagreeing back and forth. And then Jasmina asks for a second and she leaves out. So somebody, I don't know if it was the producer, they told her to go back in. And she goes back in the apartment and they're disagreeing again. And Jasmina is being a total ass. She got her back turned to him and she's rolling her eyes. It's either her way or the highway. Jasmina is very unfair to Michael. That's how I see it. The next scene is the ladies, they go aerial yoga to do aerial yoga. That's with the material hanging and they do tricks with the material. And they look like they're having fun doing it. So after they're done with exercises, they sit down to talk. And Jasmina told them that she basically missed dating and being chased. She told them that Michael and her problem started because of Michael's mouth. So Katina says she loves being married to Elijah Wan. That's why I don't feel sorry for her, because she's just taking the abuse. Maybe she likes the abuse. Who knows? Who cares? Lindsay said she missed dating. She said she missed being wooed. She tells them that her and Mark made the beast with the two backs and she's enjoying it. She says it helps with her attitude. And of course it does. You could tell when someone is not getting any. They are cranky all the time. Jasmina. So over to the guys. The guys, they go to play ice hockey, and before they start playing ice hockey, Steve tells them that he told Noi that he loves her. And they all high five him, shake his hand, whatever. Who cares? During the ice hockey, Michael is terrible. He's just terrible. He can't ice skate. He can't get a little puck in the other people's net, and he can't keep the puck out of his net. He's terrible. So after they're done playing, the guys sit down and they're talking. Mark tells them Lindsay is a 10 at taking care of him and the cats and cleaning the house. But he gives her a 6 in listening to him. I wouldn't listen to him either. He's a wimp. Anyway, Elijah once said basically that Katina went from a 4 to an 8. She went to a 4 from an 8 just because she bought you candy and popcorn in a movie? Okay, whatever. Michael asked if it was ever a 1 or 0. And Elijah once said if it get that low, he's out of there. He ain't messing around. He's gone. Mike said sometime his marriage is a 2 or a 1. He rates his marriage from 1 to 10 as a 9. I don't know which marriage he's rating. I rate his marriage a 4. They don't touch each other. They don't kiss. They can't communicate with each other. They don't hug. They don't hold hands. I give your marriage a 4, Michael. You gave it a 9? What? Back over to Jasmina. Jasmina said she is not going to rate her marriage because she's uncomfortable rating her marriage. She'd probably rate it a 0. That's why she's uncomfortable rating it, because it's a 0 for her. At least I gave it a 4. She said the rest of the way better be amazing or an 8, or she's going to say no on decision day. Back to Mark and Lindsay. Lindsay and Mark, they are in bed, and he asks her what does he need to work on. She tells him she needs to be wooed. But didn't he woo her last episode? Took her to her favorite sushi restaurant? Come on, Lindsay, give that wimp a break, man. Jasmina and Michael again. Jasmina and Michael, they go do yoga. And the yoga is, I guess, a couple's yoga. They're touching each other, they're wrapping themselves around each other, and they're holding each other. And of course, they have an instructor telling them what to do. And it looks like a good way to kick something off, if you know what I mean. Anyway, after that, they have to blindfold each other and ask each other questions, then feed each other some type of food. Jasmina puts on her blindfold, and Michael asks her if she has been vulnerable with him. She said no, because she does not feel like he cared for her or the marriage. So he feeds her a blackberry. I love blackberries. I love them. I always make it about me, don't I? Anyway, I think Jasmina got a little emotional there. She kind of, got a little bit emotional. So Michael puts on his blindfold, and she asks him what's hard for him to say. And he really didn't. He said, he didn't say what's hard for him to say. He said, he told her he will trust her when she stopped being so defensive. I guess that's hard for him to tell her, to stop being so defensive and to see his point of view. And I guess he's afraid to tell her that he'll start trusting her once she stopped being so defensive and see his point of view while they're communicating. So Jasmina, she steps up and she told him that nothing is ever completely his fault. I couldn't believe she said that. I'm so proud of her. She's owning that some of the things she does and say is not all that wonderful. It's problematic. She's taking some blame for the relationship not going well because she just told the girls that she's doing everything in her marriage to make it work, but he isn't. So now she's taking ownership. So that's a good thing. Thank you, Jasmina. She asked him if he regrets getting married at first sight. He said no. He said he doesn't regret it. He said they have had a rough patch, but he think they can make it. And then Jasmina said she wants more of the good times. And I love it when she lets her guard down. When she have that stink face and she's going, no, she looks horrible. But when she lets her guard down and she's just being normal and natural, she's such a gorgeous person. Not just on the outside, but on the inside, And when the expert matched them on the matching episode, the very first episode, not the episode number one, the very first episode when they were doing the matching, I was rooting for them. I thought that they were the one that would make it. And if she just let her guard down and relax a little bit, you never know what might happen, Jasmina. But I was proud of her during this moment. In her confessional, Jasmina said that she has not felt any spark since the wedding day. And I knew she was feeling him on the wedding day. Because when they were clinking the glasses, she was the one that wanted to kiss. And then she leaned over to him and kissed him. And then on the honeymoon, the very first night in the honeymoon, she asked him if he wanted to cuddle. And then she moved over to him and cuddled him. But everybody said, oh, she's not feeling him. She was feeling him. She was feeling him during the wedding and the first night of the honeymoon. And then things just started to fall apart for her. But she was feeling him. So the next scene is they're in their apartment and they're in bed and they're joking around with each other and having a good time. In her confessional, Jasmina said she said she's not felt spark since her wedding day, but they're in bed and they're talking and they're enjoying themselves. And I love it. For once, they're not arguing and fighting and they're just having a good time with each other. And it looks good. Next up is Noi and Steve. Noi and Steve are in their apartment and they have to do the 5 senses exercise. Noi did a body shot off of Steve, but she did it wrong. She didn't do it right. That's not how you do a body shot. Then the card said, dance for your partner. They both start dancing together. It says dance for your partner. I don't know what they're doing. They did that wrong too. Then he had to blindfold her and feed her something. He did that wrong too. He had her by the neck and he had the food right here in her mouth. Like he was going to... They did that wrong too. Man, annoying, Steve. You're annoying. So Noi asked Steve about an intimate fantasy. And he said he wants them to bathe each other. Maybe he doesn't think her hygiene is up to par. He wants them to bathe each other. Noi's fantasy is that to make the beast with the 2 backs in a semi-public place. What's a semi-public place? Then they had to write down their fears and their worries and burn it. And that's what they did. Next up is Elijah Wan and Katina. Elijah Wan and Katina, they're at their apartment and they receive a care package from Viviana. And there's some dominatrix items. There's some handcuff. There's a collar and a leash. And what's your name? Katina put the collar and a leash on Elijah Wan. And then she has on a cute bodysuit. And she has a whip. She needs to make him get on his knees. And she needs to drag him you get the collar and drag him around the apartment. So that he can clean the floors. He wants clean floors. That's a good way to clean the floors. Let's drag him around the whole entire apartment. But we saw her hitting him on the butt with the whip. But to me, she wasn't hitting him hard enough. I didn't hear him screaming. Well, she should hit him until he screams. So then she blindfolds him and she kisses him. Next thing we know, he's massaging her belly. Who massaged your belly? Why is your belly being massaged? Then he massaged her back. She blindfolds him and then she does a body shot off of him. And she needs to teach Noe how to do a body shot. Because Noe don't know nothing about body shots. Only thing is she used a mug. She should get a shot glass next time. She told him to carry her, and he gives her a dead man lift where the firemen lift people up when they're rescuing them. Instead of doing a nice little sexy lift with his arm under her legs and his hand supporting her back, he gave her a dead man lift. But I guess he's only playing around. He carries her to the bedroom, drops her on the bed, and then he shuts the door in the camera's face. I guess they're going to make the beast with the two backs. And this is the end of my review. I will be back next week with another review. Thank you for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.